Is going on, guys? Spazmattic here, back inside Destiny, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a review of the Outbreak Prime Exotic Wrath Machine Raid Pulse Rifle. So I do have a video on my channel of how to get this weapon. I'll be putting that in the description box down below. And this weapon, I have to say, is probably one of the better PvE weapons inside of Destiny by far, because it's a really good gun in general for the raid and anything against Fallen, because if you're using this weapon against Fallen, it is absolutely probably the best option to run with. So for this week's Nightfall, I believe, or the Heroic Strikes, it's small arms for one of the modifiers, and this thing is really good inside of those Heroic Strikes to run through those strikes, and especially the Fallen strikes with like Tanic, Saber, those type of strikes are really good for those strikes because of the Fallen extra damage. So this gun is pretty neat because if you land a bunch of critical hits on an enemy, it releases Siva nanites that like attract to the enemy, and also if you do get a headshot kill, it also releases Siva nanites that like attracts to other enemies around in the area, which also damages them. So it's pretty cool to, like, it's basically like mini wolf pack rounds, and overall this gun is really fun to use. I know it is the exotic, it is hard to get inside of the raid, but it is easily probably my favorite weapon inside of, like, the coolest looking weapon I have to say inside of Destiny. I like it a lot. I'm using it a lot inside of PvE, but for PvP I'm not showing gameplay of PvP just because for the fact that it is decent in PvP. I must say it's the Hawksaw archetype and PDX 45 archetype, stuff like that, but it is pretty decent in PvP. I'd rather run a Hawksaw or PDX over it in PvP anyways, because the Outbreak Prime only has the Siva nanites and the Outlaw perks for PvP, while Hawksaw can have like Head Seeker, max stability, stuff like that. So it is good to use in PvP, but I'd rather use a Hawksaw or Suros PDX 45 over it any day. But it is fun to use in PvP, maybe private matches or stuff like that. But I have tried it a couple times. It is pretty decent, but I'd rather be using, like I said, a Hawksaw or PDX over the Outbreak Prime instead of PvP. But for PvE, it is by far probably one of the best primaries, especially for the raid. I've been using this thing inside the raid, and it's doing really well for me, especially on Axis. It actually does a decent amount of damage to Axis when you're doing that damage to him in those phases. So it's pretty decent. The only cool thing about this gun is that when the Siva nanites thing come around the gun like it just did there, that's when you know that the Siva nanites can activate on an enemy whenever you get a headshot kill. So it's pretty cool. This is in action. You see the Siva nanites damage the Vandals there. It does a decent amount of damage. So overall, this gun is really fun to use inside of PvE. Decent in PvP, but like I said, I'd rather use a Hawksaw or PDX over it. And I guess this will be coming up to the end of the review of my Outbreak Prime. Little short video to let you guys know what the gun is like. If you guys got any comments, be sure to comment them down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video of my Outbreak Prime review, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later, back inside Destiny. Peace.